What's up, YouTubers? So before we get started with this video, on First Take, they're going to be interviewing female UFC champion Amanda Nunes, and they're going to be talking about a fight this weekend against Megan Anderson. So let's see what they have to say about that.
The fact that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is clearly the most influential fighting form in the history of mixed martial arts. And you are Brazilian. You know, when you hear about fighters from Brazil, you're expecting the grappling to be the story and the BJJ to be the story. And obviously you can handle yourself there. But the power, my God, and the hand speed. And not only that, but when you fight, a lot of people can strike, but you move your head offline more like a boxer, more like someone who has a background in boxing. That's what a lot of strikers don't do in MMA. Where does that come from? I know you boxed at a young age, but how did that happen in Brazil when BJJ is so...
So, for those of you guys who don't know, and you probably already do, Amanda Nunes is an absolute beast. She is the lioness of the UFC. She's a champion. She has those hands, and she knows how to throw them, and she can go down to the ground, too, if you want to. She's absolutely bad.
Down there.
Yeah, I come from grappling. You know, I come from jiu-jitsu. So, when I started, like, training for MMA, I have to start training boxing, training karate, training whatever is gonna make me like well-rounded. So when I started like training the first couple punches, the coach was the first one tell me like, "Oh my God, you are grappling, but you can punch. You really can get this eventually good. So you just have to keep training and keep improve your game." So when he told me, I never stopped in that moment training boxing. You know, I started to get better and better and better. But one day, I really saw what he told me was true. My fight against Julia, but I strike force. For that fight, it's like back in like 10 years ago, like almost 10 years ago, I was a grappling. You know, I was like straight training for take her down and then finish her on the floor. So I ended up knocking her out with a jab. And I look at my coach like, what is wrong? Like,
Yeah, you realize you got that power with those hands, and you can throw those hands, and that's another dimension to your game, and you're just an absolute beast.
I don't understand it. So after that fight, I knew something even better is gonna come together in my game. So I never stopped training, striking. And now, like, I have this power, I have this speed, I know how to use my reach very well, and I incorporate my strike very well in my game. So now I can really strike with anyone, and from that moment, if I feel some threat, I can take somebody down, I can finish it. So I'm a well-rounded, and my strike just grew with my strength, with everything in my body, just was a natural thing, and training hard.
Yeah, so again, Amanda Nunes is absolute bad, and I feel bad for the girl she has to fight this weekend. I think her name is Megan Anderson. All I can imagine is that girl's about to get beat down. She about to get her face beat in because Amanda Nunes, like I said, is bad. I mean, I watched Amanda beat up, who was it, Ronda Rousey? I mean, she beat her down like it was nothing. Literally like it's nothing. Guys, go back and watch that fight, and she just beat her face in. And then she beat up Chris Cyborg. Cyborg got absolutely beat down, and Cyborg's big too. She's real big and swole, and Amanda Nunes just beat her down like it was nothing. And I think Amanda Nunes beat up Holly Holm too. I can't quite remember. Holly Holm has hands too, but nothing like Amanda Nunes. I think she schooled her too, if I remember correctly. But I cannot wait to see Amanda Nunes fight again this weekend because she's a joy to fight. She's not arrogant. She's humble. She doesn't think she can beat up a bunch of guys and all this other type of stuff like Ronda Rousey used to say. She's just a cool boxer, fighter, UFC killer that I love to watch. She's my favorite female UFC champion.
Amanda, I brought up some of the great victories that you've had in your career when I spoke earlier. I want to know at this particular juncture, at this particular point in your career, is there somebody that you particularly want very, very badly? Once upon a time.
No, there's nobody out there that can mess with Amanda Nunes. I know I'm hyping her up big time, but that's how good I know she is and how good I think there's nobody else out there that can mess with her.
I mean, you know, again, Cyborg, people wanted her. You got her. Your people wanted Rousey. You got her. Here's a situation now where you're at the top of the heap and you're the target. But is there somebody you want, somebody you're targeting specifically that you want to beat very, very badly?
Honestly, no, not have somebody really that I look for. I'm a champion. I have to keep defending my belt. This is my job. Whatever UFC schedule for me next, I will face. So yeah, whatever. Who wanna face me? I'm gonna be in my spot. Waiting for you. So no matter what UFC wanna do, I'm ready to do.
Amanda, to Stephen A's point, Anderson is a credible opponent, but a big underdog. And the history of fighting has a lot of examples of dominant champions like you who get upset when they fought the big names, and now a fighter without the same kind of name comes up on their radar, and they can't get up for the fight as much. How do you guard against that?
Megan is obviously a very dangerous opponent. She work hard for this moment. I feel like she deserves. So and I feel like for me, Megan is tall, very tall, long, and that can give me like a little bit trouble in the fight. But I also have a lot of experience in fight with the girls taller than me. Holly Holm was one. Germaine was very tall as well. So in the gym, I just switched my training partner. I get a tall guy to like really help me with my time and everything. So yeah, I feel like I'm ready. I feel like everything she has, I know, and I will capitalize and finish the fight. I feel like she's now ready